Hello, 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 hello out there, everyone. I want to show you something I worked on for 16 hours a day for 30 days. Straight, morning to night. Just coded the whole thing just by myself like crazy to figure it out. So the project is called howtoprogramcode.com. And it's a place where you can upload your courses or create courses or maybe learn from other course content creators. And the reason I started it is because I thought I'm making these YouTube videos and giving some programming tutorials. I figured, well, how can I turn that into more of a business and also just a bigger empire outside of just YouTube? So I started thinking about it, and it was sort of a challenge. So I decided, hey, maybe I can build like a course area where you click on different, what I call tracks or sections of the course content and kind of go through each module or track and complete it and watch a little bit more in line versus YouTube where it's more scattered. So that's what I did. I just had an idea. I was using Deno Fresh, Supabase, Tailwind, I don't know, GitHub, GitHub authentication, actually. What else here? Just quite a few things. And I was able to learn a lot about Deno Fresh during that time. And honestly, what happened to me was I did it for 16 hours a day. Like I was like number 5 on Waka time. Like I was coding like crazy. I barely even ate. I barely slept. I just worked on this thing. And then, I burned out. I honestly burned out. I put too much pressure on myself and I just burned out. Anyway, so here I am kind of resurfacing it now. I haven't touched it, haven't told anyone about it. I haven't done anything with it. And I want to share it with you. And I thought that you, of all people, would be perfect for seeing it for the first time. And maybe you could use it. There's not much content on it now, but that's the goal of this video, would be maybe to put more eyeballs on the project and then maybe more people use it and then, it works. And now, of course, there are hundreds of thousands of other websites like this and apps like this. That wasn't my mission, was to beat them out or anything. The mission was for me to use it with my YouTube channel. I see this very much, like content creators create things, then they have a course on it. And I thought, well, how can I organize these programming courses a little bit easier? Anyway, so let's dive into it. I'll walk you through some of the challenges, some of my wins, some of the code, some of the reasons I did things the way I did, and kind of why it failed, but also maybe why it will succeed. Because all of it is so new. It's like I can't give up because I burned out. I have to just carry on. It's just that I need a better pace. It's not my full-time thing that I want to do right now. It's more like it was an idea, I executed it, and here we are. The marketing phase, right? And I'm not really the best at that. So let's take a look at it. I think you'll like it, and I think you'll find that it's convenient and it's promising. It's just that, I don't know. I mean, you tell me, actually. That'd be the best. So anyways, I'll zip it and we'll get into it. Let's do it. Okay, so straight into it, you can clearly see that having the video plays and the hero section is probably not a great idea. First and foremost, accessibility. Secondly, it's a little non-traditional. And lastly, you have to hit, in Chrome at least, you have to hit the play button in order to hear the sound. And completely lastly, when it stops, it cycles through. I mean, I looped it because it was kind of boring otherwise. So again, these are things that you come up with when you're building things on your own and you don't have an audience yet to test, and you just think it's a good idea. And I could, have a conversation with myself and eat in and chew up like 4 hours with myself. But instead of chewing up 4 or 5 hours of discussing to myself, what should the hero banner be? Sometimes you just have to build and move on, right? So you build, don't give it much thought, broad strokes, and then you just focus on achieving the end goal, not so much the micro goal. Unless it comes to authentication, payment, payment system, security, accessibility, minus that one. And so many other things. I mean, but really the point is you can always go back to it. And so that's what I did, is I powered through, and that brought me inspiration. I made that little video and I was like, oh, this is cool. I can see this being the intro to other videos, and I use that. And I'll show you another example here in a little bit later. But yeah, so as we'll scroll through the site. We'll look at the homepage here quick. And there's, just some common basic sections that are kind of going from left to right type of thing. Standard 2018 style design. And I also used Figma to design the imagery that you see there. And, again, these are kind of placeholders. This is just kind of building blocks for what it could be. But I actually liked how it came out. It's very much just, just pretty basic. And that was the purpose. So, yeah. So that's the homepage. Nothing too exciting there. The only thing I'd say that is exciting on this entire nav bar here is that you can see up on top there is a sign up with GitHub or sign in with GitHub. And that is because the only people that I want on the website as a user are developers. Like either you're a junior developer or you're just learning about GitHub. Great. Just the only thing that I required was you have to have a GitHub account. I think then it becomes a really interesting ecosystem. As an example, I shared this with my mom. She's not a programmer, and she's like, cool. And I'm like, yeah, too bad you can't check it out. You don't have a GitHub account. And while I could walk her through on how to create one, she probably won't do that. And so it's kind of interesting because other projects I would be like, hey, mom, check it out. And she would support me all the way. But this one, she couldn't. A few of my dev friends have joined it and gave me some feedback on it early on. And mainly just to support me while I was going through the burnout period during this project. But yeah, so I'm going to keep on going in here. I'm rambling now. So let's go through the front-facing site first, and then we'll log in. Okay, so let's start at the homepage again, and let's just go to here's the logo. I'm calling it HTPC because how to program code is a pretty long word, a series of words. So it kind of made sense. I like the way it is. I kind of used that throughout the whole project to reference things to use as naming conventions to things and whatnot. So the site consists of courses and topics and discussions and obviously FAQs and a sign up. But okay, so courses this is the course landing page. And obviously, like many traditional course sites, you have grouped courses. The course is the overarching bucket or topic that the content lives in. And so that's, excuse me, that's kind of the structure that we have here. So there's a basic course here. I actually had ChatGPT write this for me, which is just, introduction to HTML and HTML5. And it's tagged with beginner and HTML. If I click on these tags, what happens here? I forget. Yeah, it goes to topics. And so now we're in the topics area, and you can imagine that you would find multiple courses if there were more than just one here. if they were tagged with HTML. So you get the concept. Same with beginner or advanced or whatever other criteria that the tag may be. So a topic in this case is just a tag. Each course is a collection of lessons. So going back to courses, this is a message I wrote when I first launched, the day I launched, because I realized I can't just launch with one course, but I did. And why did I do that? Well, because I needed to finish my goal, and that was the 30-day mark, and I needed to push it out. So, and I remember the last day before deployment, I was figuring out some middleware and figuring out some crazy stuff to make sure that the security on here is decent, enough to publish it and feel confident. Now, I'm not an expert in that field per se, but yeah, I used middleware with Deno Fresh to lock down a lot of interesting, I guess, flows of content. So as we sign in later on, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So, but yeah, it was very interesting to learn more of middleware, and it reminded me of the old days with early days of Node and Express and things like that. And just, I don't know, it just sort of, it was really interesting. Because with Next.js, before middleware was introduced, and I've been using Next for many years now, and primarily, exclusively almost, and I wasn't using middleware the way I used to, and so with Deno Fresh, it was introduced and kind of highlighted, and I took advantage of it. It was really sweet. It was very, very interesting. I just loved how it flowed together, and I can show you some of that stuff later on. So anyways, with courses, I'll click here on the course and we can go into the main page, which looks like caching is not on this one. Let me just refresh to make sure that this, okay, it loaded. I think because it's coming from the YouTube API, this just took a while. If I reload now, it should be pretty instant. Yeah, it is. Okay, I haven't visited this site before this demo, so that could be the reason. But this would be the landing page. This is the landing page of a course. And this course, I am not signed in, so this course is public. And we can scroll down. And again, I had ChatGPT write this for me because, and it's Markdown. And that was the big thing, actually. I wanted everything, all the course content to be in Markdown. So this course is okay, so let's just start from the top. It plays with a video, right? So you can play a video. And as I pointed out before, I wanted to have that video play pretty much on the videos that I make for this stuff. Now, for your content, if you want to publish your content on the site, which is free for you, you can do that and you can get paid from it. Then, you know, you could brand it however you want. It's coming, literally, it's coming from your channel. Like this is coming from my channel, How to Program Code on YouTube. And at my other channel. So I think that part of it was really interesting for me because I don't want to take people away from YouTube, and of course not, but I do want to structure the content better. And that's really all this is I was trying to structure the content a little bit better. So anyways, there's a video, and I just realized my site controls are missing from here. So I think there's one bug I could highlight here and fix after this video was done. But yeah, there should be some time controls here so I can play, pause, skip ahead, etc. And they're not here for some reason. I don't remember why. Let me see if I just turn on controls. Interesting. Wonder why they are not here. I believe I used to have them on here. Huh. Oh well. Let me just let this play for a little bit. And then it jumps into the video.
Welcome to the introduction to HTML5. I'm Eric David Smith.
Right, and you can have, again, this is just an example video. ChatGPT did not make the video. I had to make that one. But the idea was like, if I'm going to make a video on YouTube to teach people how to do something that maybe I know how to do, right? Then if it's only living on YouTube, then to me, it's just limited. Like, it's cool that it's on YouTube because it gets a lot of exposure. But how do I take that also and put it into like a nice series, a nice structure? So it would have an introduction, a prerequisite with, by the way, with examples or markdown syntax highlighting. Like, that's another thing that YouTube is missing. Twitter is missing it. A lot of sites are missing it. Like, I wish they would support more syntax highlighting, and therefore we could, instead of taking screenshots and whatever we use, whatever tools we use to compose like a code snippet together, it would be really cool to do that in line and contextually on all these social platforms, because we are sharing examples, but we're doing it where we can't copy and paste. We have to use an OCR, some kind of object, some sort of object ripper to basically take an image and then produce text from it. So, I mean, or do it manually, copy and paste, or translate it. So I think that this structure was the goal that I wanted. I wanted something that I could put a course together, right? And so this is what that is. And there's a table of contents that gets extracted programmatically from Markdown and rips it into a nice list. And if I click here, it just goes to the anchor tag of it. And then there's resources too. That's another piece that YouTube doesn't have, which is how do I add more resources? Like, say the source code for this example is here. So you can actually go through it now and get it from GitHub. And here it is. It's all in Markdown. So all of that content is formatted in Markdown. So that's the really interesting part of this project. So the other things I do is, yes, course topics. We have HTML, and you can click on and go back there. There's beginner. It looks like that one's not clickable yet because I don't think that array supported. It just wasn't ready yet because there was just like one course. So I think that's the reason why I'm not going to a specific page, if I recall. And then we calculate the average reading time, just so you know how long this is. I think this is pretty popular among most sites that are content-based, that have like coursework and stuff, like how long is this course going to take or whatever. And it does it per track. So the first track has a video, and you can order these any which way you want. I'll show you that as well. And there's a title and sort of a description on each one of these. And then what's interesting here is this is the course creator block. So this is like who you are. This is the course you've created. There's the course image here. This is me, obviously, but this is me because I'm here because I'm an instructor of this course. The only way that someone would show up on this page or this set of pages in this particular course would be if they're the author of that. I don't have co-authors created yet, but that's something I'd want to do eventually. And so I can also click here, and I want to show you this because this would be your public page. And I liked this part of it as a nice flare. I like that a lot. And again, so it's like learn with me on HTTP. So you could pass this around to your community and then get people to join here, and you can make money from your course content. So this would be your profile page, and down below, if you had courses, I thought I had this working so it would show my courses down here. And I think it does if I'm signed in. I think that's how it works. But publicly, I didn't want to loop through and iterate through each one to see which one's public. I forget really, to be honest. So yeah, but let me go back here to the course. There's just one last thing I want to show you about this course stuff. When you complete a course, right? So like we're here, I read the whole thing and I do the whole deal, and I click next or something. There's next and previous. You get a little piece of confetti, and it has a summary of what you completed, what you learned, share your experience, etc. Fun fact. And you have full control of writing all of this content, obviously. Pretty much this is all dynamic. It comes from the metadata you supply. And then the course body here is all things you write, as well as the structure here. So why don't we get into that? So I'm going to go ahead and just, let's stay on topic here with that. Let me sign up well, it's technically sign in. So let me just click that. I'm already signed into GitHub. And so there you go. I was quick install. Now I'm in the dashboard section of howtoprogramcode.com. And as you see, I'm an instructor. And so there's multiple user types. The user type that I am, I'm going to go here. I didn't mention that I am on Stripe as well. This is connected with Stripe. And so there's subscriptions and there's 3 plans. One is for basic, which would be for students who want to learn basic fundamentals of software development. And that's a free plan, so students can learn for free. The part where I charge money, and this may be a debatable amount because, right now there's no content, but eventually when there's content, I think this price is fair. So premium subscriptions would be for advanced students who want more access to resources, videos, and community and more. And get premium if you had premium, you're a student. Instructors do not pay because instructors supply the content. Instructors, in fact, get paid. So this is really built for everyone, of course, but more importantly, for people to make money. I mean, students, I don't think would get paid to go to college. The professors would. So it works the same way. The course creators make the money, and the students learn and grow. So that's kind of the concept, and I think that's fair and legitimate. But yeah, you can upgrade or downgrade anytime you want. But yeah, as I said before, if you're an instructor and you're watching this video, go join howtoprogramcode.com and sign up as a basic plan, then upgrade your plan to instructor, and you can start publishing your content. Now with that, you'll get this tab that says courses as an instructor, and you can go ahead and create course content. Before I create a course though, I'm going to just walk you through the Introduction to HTML and HTML5 course that is live on here. So this is the course title, obviously, the thumbnail. There's a note here that says image preview does not work yet. Again, I built this myself in 30 days, this entire thing. And so from everything, 0 bytes to this, and so I think things like this isn't that important yet, right? There's no content. There's no one here yet. So for me, it's like, this isn't that important to get the image preview to work, which it does work. But if you were to delete this image, I forget, maybe if it was a brand new image, no, if you replace the image, if I was to go here and then replace the image, I do not believe that I could try this. Yeah, the preview isn't there. But now if I was to hit save, it would publish it. It would publish the thumbnail that I just provided. So I won't do that. I'm gonna hit refresh. Okay, so that was the reason I did that. So the image preview does not work. I should have made that more clear. It doesn't work for replacing images. So all right. So anyways, the skill level here you can pick from beginner, intermediate, and advanced. You can add a topic, a new topic. You can. Here are some topics that I was using for testing purposes and really just the course content that I was working on. You can add a sponsor by name. So let's say your YouTube video is sponsored. You could say it's a course that's sponsored. Say there's something in the course that is sponsored. So in this example, I use NordVPN, and then their sponsorship link would go to that site. And I don't know if you noticed, but in the preview of, we'll go there quick. There's not really an easy way to get to the courses other than this. But if you notice here, it says sponsored by NordVPN. So if I click that, it goes to NordVPN. And that was through, dynamically injecting it into that. So, okay, well, also while we're here, as you see now that I'm signed in, I have access to these edit resources, which is over here, these things, add a new track, which are these things, edit track, which are these things. And, basically this is a track. And edit course, which is the overall thing, which would deal with the metadata, the structure, and the things we just showed you. So I'll click on edit course because that's where we left off. And down here, it's just a confirmation that says, yes, publish my course. And if you decline that, your course will be hidden. right, from the website. It doesn't get published unless you click yes, publish it. And then one thing that you have to do though is if you are going to join as an instructor, you must have at least one track created to publish this course. Tracks are lessons that are inside of a course. So when you hit publish here right away and you don't have any tracks associated with it, your course is still hidden. It's not on the homepage. It's not anywhere yet. So that's kind of the idea. And so let's take a look at edit tracks, because I don't want to add a new one right now, but we'll just go through the ones that are here. So as you can see here, the tracks. Now there's one thing that, again, I built this in 30 days, 16 hours a day. So the one thing that I had to kind of do is, what's a little funky to me, is my track positioning. So as I said, you can order the tracks on the left on the page I was referring to, the course page. The problem is the way I'm doing it is basically by number. So 0 being the top, and let's say 10 being the last or something, whatever sequential number you want to add. And that's how I position it. So in the track here, we have introduction, we have a description, we have nav description, which was this little byline or this little grayed out text here on the, let me open a new tab here so we can play with that. Let me go back to this and we'll go here. So basically this content, and it was this section here. So we'll go there. I'm going to blow this up again because I don't really need to reference anything else. And then you would add a YouTube link. Like I said, you just take your YouTube video. It doesn't really matter what it is. If it's it doesn't matter what the link is. It could have a bunch of parameters in it. It could have, it could be an embed code. It doesn't really matter. I strip it away and I do a bunch of regex stuff on it. So I know it's your video. If you paste the right, basically one of these keys in it, I'll be able to figure it out. And I mean, it just goes to the database and does all of its computation beforehand and then gets shoved in the database. And then this is the markdown piece. So this is pretty neat actually. So if I enter one character in here, it's now into edit mode, or preview mode rather. And so the preview kicks out, and this is what it will kind of look like on your screen on the course page. I thought that was a nice way to kind of understand. And it's real time. So if I start to make an edit here, you'll see it at the bottom. So we're editing, and okay, that isn't one-to-one, and I know why. It's the CSS that needs to get applied to this page. This particular dashboard page, the CSS is slightly different for the markdown, syntax highlighting, and other formatting. So that's another thing that's on my to-do list, in my to-do list bucket thing. And then here it says, should this track have confetti? And we recommend you only use this confetti for the final track. But essentially, you could put confetti on every track if you wanted, if that was your thing. But to the user, they probably would be like, yo, I didn't finish the course yet. So, I don't know. And then this one is, yes, this track requires premium membership. And this is where you can lock it down per track. And so say you have, like, let's pretend that the course nav up here is the introduction to your video or to your content. Then down here, it's like a prerequisite. And then here is like some of the code examples. But you don't want the whole public to see that. You just want to show them like the teasers. So you want to show them like, let's get started. And then you get hooked here, right? You get hooked on this one. And so that's where you lock, yes, this track requires premium membership. And I'm still playing with this idea, but it works. And the concept there would be, you can't view this to the public, and then you have to be a member of the site, and you have to be a premium member to get it. So therefore, it would just be locked out. I guess we could do it. We could, yes, this track requires premium membership. I'll hit save changes. And I think that one was the introduction, was it? I think it was. Yeah, and now you see, because I'm an instructor, you also get access, as an instructor, you also get access to unlimited content. So you can read anyone's courses. That's the way I think it should work, because you are providing content, and you should be able to educate yourself from other creators as well. And so, but for the people that are learning, I'm sorry, I want you to learn for free too, and you can, and people will let you. But I also think that you didn't do anything in the process. The instructors do. And so in order to get this, though, as an instructor, I believe you have to publish at least one course. Otherwise, this is still locked for you. And since I have published a course, it's here. So it's a slightly gamified system. And yeah, but I like it. I like this. So it says it's unlocked, so I'm able to see this. If it wasn't unlocked, and we'll test this in a private window real quick. The other thing I want you to do is take note of the, so there you go. So it just because of that, it redirected me to sign in through the middleware. It basically detected that you don't have authorization, and it won't even let you go there no matter what. So it kicked you right back to authentication, where technically you just click this button and you're signed in. But you don't have to be signed in. For instance, let me just put this window over here. Let's see if I could do that. And then if I click on prerequisites for HTML5, and I go back over here and I go to my private window and I click enter there, you can still access this course. Why? Because as the instructor, I didn't lock it. And you can see here, so it says unlock this track. And so if you unlock it, now it should go, once you sign up, just follow me here in this pattern. Once I sign up, I'm not going to do it because I'm in the private window. I'd have to authenticate my GitHub, and it's a pain. But if I sign up or sign in with GitHub, it would redirect me then to a payment system, Stripe, and it would say, hey, you want to buy this course? So you get the idea. It kind of follows you through, and it encourages you to pay or to unlock the content. So that's that so far. So let's move on to courses again, going back to my course, edit tracks. And I think we covered all of that. The only thing I'm going to do is, let's go back here and show you that here it says introduction 0. The number here is, again, the order, sort order, or display order, however you'd like to interpret it. And as you can see, this one says the topic is HTML, and it's not free, it's premium, and this one's free. So what we want to do is switch that back to free, because I don't think we want to charge for the introduction. So I'll click save. And again, the same thing would work for confetti or what other options there are there. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Now let's say I want to, let me go back. Now this got complicated. So let me go back to edit tracks, click on introduction. Now let's say I want to add a resource to that track. This got pretty complicated for me. I could add a new track. I could edit tracks, meaning I can go back and edit the list of tracks that I just saw. Or I could add add track resources, or I could edit track resources. So it looks like I already have track resources. I'm going to click that one. And this one we have source code for GitHub. Now, if you notice, it says track resources. When I originally built this, I thought it'd be really cool to have resources for the entire thing. But then as I was building it, I realized, actually I need resources per track, because in case there's now go check out my GitHub here, which this one has, but let's say inside of here, there's something that's locked and you don't have access to it because you're not a premium member. So that's where the tracks resources needs to be independent. And that's why I did that. So I'm hoping this is making some sense to you. I know this is kind of a weird walkthrough. This is me unscripted, just kind of walking through about 4 months ago when I built this. And then kind of telling my story about Burnout and being a solo dev and building this all by myself and finishing that, crossing the finish line and just sort of going, oh great, now what do I do? Right. And it's a lot of work. We didn't even get into the code, and I think I'll break that into a second thing. I'm just going to give you from a pure standpoint of this is what I built. This is show and tell kind of a thing today. All right, so that's the courses. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory. You can create a new course if you like that. Image equals null. How to program code, of course. Okay, so yeah, so then there it is. So these images are using Supabase. The database is Supabase. The payment system is Stripe. The UI framework is Tailwind. The web framework is Deno Fresh. And yeah, so that's it. I showed you my profile. This is basically, you can edit your profile. There's a color picker. You can change the little profile guy up here, so you can pick a color. I do that with all my websites because I have a company called Colorful Dots. And you can make your profile public or not. So here it is, public. And if I click this and I go ahead and just hit enter here and save it, and I view my profile, did I not? I may not have saved that. Yes, make my profile public. Oh, I didn't save it. Hold on. And then if I view my profile now, profile is private, right? Please respect their privacy. So you get it. So you have a little bit of customization. Another interesting part, though, I want to point out here is that the other thing I really want to do is bring a bunch of software engineers together, because I have an opportunity for a bunch of jobs that I'd like to distribute to a bunch of people. And so I do want to say, like, yes, I'm available for hire on your profile. And maybe eventually this turns into some sort of thing where it's like there's a group of developers that work on projects, and projects come in, and then it's like, hey, are you, like a lot of these other companies do this. There's like, they find the deals and then they pass them all along to you and you jump on them, that kind of a thing. That may be something to consider on this, but yeah, I think, and you have your personal information here, your social stuff that you could put in here. And, this would probably change to like, a dynamic input or something you could append more instead of having specific, LinkedIn, whatever. I think I did that for real estate purposes because there's not a lot of space here, wherever it was in here to put that. And there wasn't a lot of space on the course content page to display more social icons, but you get the idea. Like, I think we've covered that. All right. So that's that. There's no search yet. So there's topics, right? Because when you add search, it complicates things, but search is designed for things that can't be found, right? So when you have a lot of things that are undiscoverable, use search. Otherwise, use browse. Like when you launch a site, don't get hung up on building a search unless you know you're going to need search. Like build a browse system, and that'll scale quite well for a long time. So here we go. So you got, HTML. The other ones, surprisingly, are not going to work because I deleted those courses. So, and yeah, if you're seeing this, we likely just launched. So it looks like I never killed the actual tags, because if I did, it would just be one. So I just left them. But yeah, there's other courses that I was working on that I abandoned. I'll get back to it with the help of ChatGPT. And then there's the last thing I want to show you is there's programming discussions. These are real-time discussions. And you can say, yo, right? And it says, I'm typing. And all of you who are here, who are instructors or premium members, basic members, students, they don't see this. Only if you become premium. This is a paid feature. But let's discuss Deno, and it's compartmentalized into this area where you can, just stick to the topic and discuss this, and other instructors might share their tips. So it's kind of a cool thing. I'm not sure it's going to actually work for people if they would use this, because we have so many other communication tools out there. But it was something that I wanted to build and incorporate. And this one's just, hey, like the welcome thing. This is the first chat you'd probably see. And, my buddy Jorge said, hey, how do I clean my dog's stuff here? And in the early days, 6 months ago. Okay, so it was longer than 4 months. No, it would have been 6 months ago. It was 4 or 5 months ago that I did this site, and I haven't told anyone about it yet. Except for now, I'm telling you guys. And then there's an FAQ that kind of, walks through all of the stuff on what things are, and most of the stuff I just covered. And there's a Discord. There's an About Us page that really is the same as the homepage. There's the privacy stuff that I did actually fill out, terms of use that I did actually fill out legally. This is all done. And there's a refund policy that is also filled out. So yeah, February. No. This is an example. I was going to say, so yeah, all of this is up to date. And really that's pretty much it. That's the concept. So you build courses go up. The payment structure stuff. So no one would, if you joined today, you wouldn't get paid for 30 days or so anyways. I am still needing to figure out how to do split payments in Stripe. But if you guys have any ideas, let's talk. I just literally haven't had the time to research more about it. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So there's dashboard, which is literally just the same as over here. I'll probably put more here, like news updates and whatever else. There's courses, and if you're a different user type, then you'll see a different nav bar. You won't see this. You'll see my courses, and you'll see things that you've completed. And if you're a premium member, I think you get something else along with this navigation. But yeah, it's for the most part. And then if there's other admin ones and moderator ones too as well that I'm not signed in as. So, but yeah, profile is pretty much standard. Subscriptions. And then there's a danger section, which is how you can sign out or delete your account. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, or if you think this idea is stupid, or if you think that this idea is cool and you'd like to get involved, I don't know, man. Whatever you think. I don't know. You want to, anyways, if this is something that you like, feel free to join it. Feel free to check it out. Feel free to share it. Feel free to leave some comments below. Whatever you want to do. Again, there's many of these out there. This was a challenge for me to see if I could build something on my own. With Deno Fresh, that was a new thing. Deno itself was a completely new thing I haven't touched in 2 years or longer until I built this. And so Supabase was a new one that I have a couple projects in, but they weren't really this big. This one's not big, but it was a lot. And Stripe was another big one. And then GitHub oauth was another big one. I didn't use Supabase's auth in that regard. So yeah, and also creating all the assets and Tailwind and the videos and the content and the markdown. The markdown piece was a big one. That was a big one. I actually architected it completely different, where it was like it was using true markdown files, not anything in the database. And then I decided, okay, I need to migrate this. This isn't going to make sense. This isn't going to scale. And my buddy mentioned I should do something different, and I listened to him and I went that way, and it worked out better. So here we are. This is it. This is howtoprogramcode.com. I know this video has been long, but I truly thank you for listening to me and being a member of my channel, or just, maybe you're new here and you just discovered my stuff. Hello, I'm Eric, and I'm kind of a weirdo in many regards, but I'm also, passionate and excited to build the future with you. And help out as much as I can. So go check it out. Let me know what you think. And that's it. So enjoy. Have a good one. Bye.